The networking in our studio is pretty epically fast. I mean, look at this. That is 48 ports of 25 gig networking for our editors and our ingest stations, not to mention the 6 100 gig uplinks to our servers. But watch this.
Why is my internet broken?
Oh, not again! Jake!
Why does this always happen?
If this one network switch ever dies or even has an issue, our entire network goes down. And not just here in the studio, but also in the lab and here in Creator Warehouse, which is where our merch team designs our products and where I do the segue. Now, in fairness to Dell, even though we bought this switch on eBay 3 years ago, we've never had an outage that was caused by it or either of our other Dell switches. But the fact that it hasn't happened yet, what the f***, holy doesn't mean it couldn't happen someday in the future. After all, these switches are basically just really reliable, fancy computers. But one reliable point of failure? That's not how we roll anymore. Mostly. This, my friends, is how it's done.
Oh my God, Linus.
It looks good, right?
Hey, Jake helped.
I just died inside.
You made me feel so bad of the one I did over there.
All it needs is some patch cables and it'll be good as new. Wait, they made it even betterer. Uh-oh. I already saw it before, Jake.
I haven't seen it like literally at all.
Yeah, it's
Oh wow, that's nice.
yeah. I mean, it's, it's nothing, like what we did.
Oh,
Which
I
is
mean,
good.
we made like life-changing improvements.
Yeah.
This is really just aesthetic.
It's cosmetic.
Yeah. What is this? This is awful.
Yeah, they've got that one cable out of place.
Look, you see them hiding back there?
Boo!
Yeah, boo. What's this cable here? It looks like
It's a special cable.
Yeah.
The question now, though, is not how good does ours look, how good does theirs look. That's not what anybody's interested in, especially us. Right, Jake?
Ours is better.
The question is it all configured correctly so that I can come in here, rip the power out of this switch, and the whole network stays online? Can I stand on this server? That's fine, right?
But I mean, you're already doing it.
You guys ready?
Hold on.
Jake, you're not gonna get more ready in the next 5 seconds here. We're ready.
Oh my God.
Okay, let's go find out. Come on, Andy, don't cut the camera. Hey, how's your editing going? Good, see you later.
I honestly have no idea if this
You
is
don't
gonna
even
work.
work at that desk.
Dan, what are you doing?
Hi, is your computer running?
It is running.
Then you should go out and catch it. Network working? Oh, good. Everything was fine and nothing bad happened.
Is it
so
actually-
that's normal and that's what we expect.
Is it actually working? I mean, it should work.
Jake!
But, what?
Of course it's working.
Yeah.
To be clear, it's better to just have them both up.
What?
I'm just gonna put this back. But that was pretty cool, right? That is where these come into play. And I'm really excited to tell you about these new switches, but before I can do that, we're gonna have to make some room in the server room. Oh, and make some room in the other server room. That one's gonna be bad. To be clear, it's not like we couldn't put the switches here. It's just that when we spec'd out this room, we didn't realize we were gonna be putting such long servers into this rack, and we ended up with some clearance issues with our PDU. See, look, I can't even use any of the plugs down here. Whoops. Fortunately, we have a solution. This custom painted orange rack from Hammond Manufacturing is both wider and significantly taller than our existing one. Is this gonna fit in the room? Oh boy. At least it looks like we have a plan. The rack goes on here and then we push it, right?
Well, yeah, those are mint. This thing weighs 350 pounds.
Cool. Oh, I think this is not going to work, gentlemen. New plan. We're putting it on the pallet jack and we're going outside. What could go wrong? I can't see a damn thing. Oh boy, and then it goes downhill. Hold on, well, we may wanna...
No, go for it. It's good. We're good.
Okay.
We've done stupider things.
Yeah, we've done stupider things recently. You weren't there for the 115-inch TV.
Oh.
That was really stupid. Since we're walking, I've got some speeds and feeds for this thing. It's basically the Canyonero of server racks. 7 feet tall, 30 inches wide, 48 rack units, and it weighs in excess of 350 pounds. That's without any hardware in it.
What?
Well, yes, well, that's what I asked you guys. I didn't have any plan. I planned to hire experts who would have good plans for how to do things.
Oh my God.
Are you sure about this?
Oh yeah. If I die, make sure you catch it on camera.
Yeah, it would clear just fine. No, it will clear.
Okay. All right, not so bad. Whee!
Okay, stop.
Oh, okay, mister, it won't move now says, oh, it's moving too fast.
Okay, fine, go.
Woo! All right. Okay, now hold on just a gosh darn second here.
Holding.
How is there gonna be room to maneuver this thing in there? Is the other rack coming out?
We didn't think this through.
They're not bolted on.
Not bolted in.
No.
Their feet.
So there it is right there. Defeat.
Don't scratch the paint.
Hey, nice. Wow, these casters though. This thing is built better than some houses.
It's
And bigger too.
Don't step on the
I'm
door.
not gonna step on the door, God.
He's literally stepping on the door.
I'm not stepping on the door, I'm stepping on the cross braces that are by
Part
the
of
door.
the door.
Well, it's door-ish. I mean, look at this. I got my full weight on it. It's not even doing anything. We can get rid of those cage nuts immediately. We'll be using rack studs, available now, ltdstore.com.
Oi, what was
Whoa,
that
was
noise?
pretty bad.
What was
That
that
was a bad
noise,
noise.
Linus?
It's a good noise. And yep, there we go. This is probably enough space for the other one, right?
Yeah, it should be.
All right. Whoa.
Stopping there.
Cable management. Who needs it?
See? Look how useful you are.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2.
Yeah, now you can go to the side.
Just a bit, slowly.
Yeah, no, they're good, they're good. Oh, okay. Now what, you guys? It takes up the whole room.
This is your new bedroom.
We ready, boys?
Barely.
Boy, hi there. Okay.
Shove towards us.
Moving.
Okay.
That's definitely the paint.
I think we're gonna have a bit of a timber moment here. I'm trying to get to Dan.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, yeah, oi! Woo! Okay,
Holy f***ing balls, this thing is huge.
yeah, this is ridiculous. What were you guys thinking? We could have just put 2 racks in here. You need more rack units.
Oh, we're doing that anyways.
Ah,
You saw the other rack, right?
what other racks?
There's another one.
Are these?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For where?
Here.
Putting 3.
But
We're just kidding.
Look at the color on that.
wow, it's got a combination lock on the back. Oh my God, there's a Dan inside. Get him out, get him out.
It is really roomy.
Wait, this is the back then.
It's front and back.
Oh!
Sort of.
Sort of, yeah.
Not at the back.
Yeah, this is for patch cables and stuff.
Cool. Dan used Nerd Punch. It's as effective as it ever is. In all seriousness though, what are we planning to put in here? Are we transplanting everything?
Yep. So any Dale goes at the bottom, switches and everything goes at the top.
And then that one's leaving?
No, that stays.
Well, what's gonna go in it?
That's going to be the writer rack, so that when Jake wants to mess with all of our networking gear, he doesn't take down the entire lab and cost you tens of thousands of dollars a minute.
Whoa.
I mean, the cost's not that high.
Okay, it's a slight hyperbole, but you know.
And there it is, the real reason we're doing any of this. Because Jake wants a Play Toys rack. Because we could have made this work.
I don't know, this is much better.
I said we could have made it work.
Any Dale doesn't even fit in it.
It's in it right now.
Barely.
Not all of it. We're gonna leave my playthings in there, which is like half of it, so
Oh my
it's
God.
not actually that bad.
Yeah, but the networking is the worst part.
That's why you have Shawn and I.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking we go do more fun things than just leave them to do the grunt work.
Yeah, and then it'll be done properly.
At least half of it will be done properly. You guys ready?
Yeah. Look at that, that's awesome. Oh, that's so easy.
Almost as awesome as this switch. I'm ready to tell you guys a little bit about it. This right here is the S5232F-ON. It's got 32 ports that run at 100 gigabit, each of which can be split out into 4 25 gigabit ports. It has a total switching capacity of 3.2 terabit per second half duplex, so 6.4 then bidirectionally. And these things are massively configurable, because when I say they're going to be the top of rack switches on both this side and over at the studio, I mean they're going to be a pair of top, oh God, that's heavy. Okay. No, I got it. A pair of top of rack switches, because the main point of what we're doing today is to add resiliency and redundancy to our network. By the time we're done, I'm gonna be able to take one of these, rip the friggin' power connector out of it, and the whole network's gonna stay up, right?
Yeah.
They each have redundant power supplies?
Wow, 750 watts. That's not as much. I guess it's just optics. There's no PoE, right?
Yeah, that's a lot for not powering anything else. And ooh, easily serviceable fan modules.
Of course. It's a
Love
Dell,
it.
right? Management.
Adele. Management port, and I love the rails these things come with. They're toolless and super easy to install.
These might be the easiest toolless rails I've ever used. 46 and 44.
All right, boop, Yeah. This rack's too tall for me to work in. This is my maximum reach. I have to tippy-toe. Is this the WorkSafe approved way to do this? Oh God, I can't reach, oh God. No, I'm kidding.
I will note that he is standing on the bottom of the rack to give extra height.
I am stabilizing on the bottom of the rack.
And look, here's a banana for scale. Yep, Linus is still short.
LTTstore.com, baby. Ooh.
This might actually be too nice for us.
That's why it's Shawn and I's, and you get the other one.
Got him.
Infrastructure rack and the writer's rack.
I'm getting very close to just requisitioning this rack as my own.
Man, this is a fine rack, but it has super small PP energy next to this one. This side is gonna have its own challenges, because as much as we've tried to keep things organized, we're looking at about 8 years of total tech debt and Frankenstein solutions.
Yeah, I like re-cable managed it like 3 years ago, but
I did it a couple times before that. It always just kind of turns into spaghetti. The good news is in the long term, I think what we're gonna do is move everything around to the front of the rack and move the vault and maybe some of the other servers over here to the lab side, because we've got a nice fast link that we worked out with the city between the two buildings now. Is this the part where we just start ripping stuff out?
well, Gary kind of wanted to keep internet, but too bad, I guess.
Our transceivers don't come out, Jake.
Oh God. Yeah, that switch got a little bonked a long time ago, and well, in transit from eBay to us.
Oh, great. So now I get to do this to keep our fibers safe.
You could just send it, and I'll just clean them after.
Sorry, Gary. I unplugged the internet. Update for you guys. We came up with a brilliant idea. These switches don't have a ton of VLANs configured on them, but this one does, because that runs a bunch of our security stuff. So we figure, okay, if we just unplug everything, then maybe we can move this down 3 notches where it needs to go according to the plan without actually unplugging anything.
Yeah.
Good luck, everybody.
Okay, you can pull it out now.
You ready?
No, top one. Top one.
Oh, sure. The top one doesn't have handles, Jake.
You got it?
Yeah, there we go. We only need one of these 48 port 10 gig switches now. So we're gonna keep the original one, and then we're gonna hold on to the one below it as kind of a cold spare.
Just pull it out, that's fine.
Okay. We were a much smaller company when we configured all of this. And you're quite sure you don't support the idea of just having the other room be the main server room now?
Correct.
Wait, you're not just knocking cage nuts into the rack, are you?
A little bit.
Well, Jake,
That came out, that's fine. Okay, other side now. Tell everyone your great idea.
he hates it when I'm right, but he likes it when it saves him a bunch of work. I'm sitting here going, we only built from both sides of this rack because we had no space.
Yeah.
Well, now we have space. You just watched us install it. So why don't we just move everything around to the front? And then, this is hilarious. Remember that switch that we were super concerned about moving because of all the VLANs? Well, guess what? Ha ha! I just took every cable painstakingly and plugged it into a dummy switch for now. And then I'm gonna pass them around to the front of the rack and I'll just be like, okay, 1, 2, and we'll rebuild it from the front. If it's stupid and it works, it's not stupid.
Yeah, I like this because I've wanted to do this for, in February it will have been 8 years.
I never did this because I liked it or I thought it was a great idea. It was always janky. We just didn't have anywhere else in the studio to put rack mount equipment.
You know, the main reason I wanted to do the mother vault, aside from the old one being jank, was so we had more rack space so I could eventually do this.
Nice.
It's been a long time coming. So basically, fiber patch, router 1, router 2, we don't have both of them, so it'll just be one of them for now. Dell, patch, Dell, patch, Dell, patch. I think there will not be enough devices plugged into these two that we will need 2 patch panels. Very likely.
Only one way to find out.
Do we just YOLO and hope that it goes well?
Sure. Oh, hold on, there's locks on the strain reliefs on the power and everything. Okay, all right, geez, man. Okay, you're good?
That's my baby.
Yeah. New.
Wannick 4.
The plan today was not to just strip this rack, but that's done now.
What time is it right now?
It is 2 o'clock.
We have an hour, let's go fast.
Oh my God.
We need to move all these patch panels now, which is nice. They're all labeled, which is great, except a bunch of them are not. It's all of the ones Linus did that aren't labeled.
You got that last one?
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's it. Okay, dummy switch comes out.
Okay, now we start going fast.
I love how the payoff for this video is gonna be so much worse than what we started with.
Yeah, like the server room is just like destroyed. But one day when Shawn and Dan spend 3 days re-cable managing this, it will be great.
We have 2 of our switches installed. We got the Dell's racked in here, fiber patch panel. We've got the MikroTik running temporarily to keep internet running for Gary while we switch everything over.
Sorry, Gary.
And yeah, everything's racking well. There's lots of cable management's beautiful, and everything's coming together, right, Dan?
Yeah, we got the PDUs here too, which is great. Come on. Oh God!
Oh my God, there are hard drives in that.
Fine. All right, here we go. That was not very good.
I don't even care that much when you kind of drop a hard drive now that I remember back to when you actually yeeted a hard drive.
Totally lived. This is such a relief. I remember the conversations back when we decided to build from both sides of the rack, and we were like, well, this is the only way we can fit all the stuff, so I guess we're stuck with it. But I hated it then, I hate it now. This is so much better.
It's almost like we have 2 server rooms or something now. And the other one isn't a Harry Potter closet.
You know that these stairs are so wide because this room needed to be wider, right?
So what you're saying is this is entirely your fault.
Yes. The issue is that we realistically couldn't afford more, so I'm not gonna apologize for it.
We cut all the cabling from the ceiling, so now we have to fix all that because it wouldn't fit.
We've got all of our networking gear in here now, and the back actually looks tidy now. I'm trying to make up for the sin that I caused in the ceiling.
Right now, we have what used to be Alpha Dell, which is our 48 port S4048. We're putting these Ethernet patch panels in a spot that is eventually going to become a like fiber patch panel, but we can just pop the keystones out at that point, or rather Dan and Shawn can. And then I guess we're just moving more patch panels. Like it's awful, I know, but it's going to be great one day.
This is about to get interesting. We have to put the 2 new Dell switches, the 32 port 100 gig ones, here and here, which would be fine if the various contractors who had come in at various stages in this building's history hadn't made complete spaghetti out of all the cables going into the patch panels. I don't know if they're gonna fit in here. I never know quite how this happens, but every time you clean up a server closet or like a tech room, you find all these things that are not plugged into anything. Man, this is gonna be awesome.
Being able to like restart one of your core switches and the entire network not go down, I like.
And all those years in the early days, Jake, using rails that were not toolless and whatever the cheapest rack mount stuff that I could find was, I did not know what I was missing.
Oh wow, you actually got it in for once, good job.
Yeah. These things are flipping crazy overkill. When Jake told me what we were getting, I was like, why? We have no application that actually requires these. But I think really it's less to do with the speed and more to do with getting the latest OS and all the latest features.
Oh, I haven't even told you. The long-term plan is pretty cool. It involves having 2 routers here at the very least. We want them to be redundant if our OpenSense router poops the bed.
I have no idea what I just unplugged.
The other one takes over automatically.
Sure.
The long-term plan is we have 2 routers at both buildings and an internet connection at both buildings. Hear me out. What?
I don't want to pay for 2 internet connections.
Oh yeah, whatever, we'll figure that part out. And then we can use OSPF or BGP to like route the 2 buildings. And if one internet connection were to go down for whatever reason, we could assume the other building's internet connection over here and vice versa. So redundant internet connection, redundant routers, redundant core switches. Also, these switches are probably going to be our routers at some point. And then the OpenSense boxes will just be a firewall. So cool.
That second internet connection better be just like a basic residential thing.
It can't really be.
I'm not paying for 2 internet connections. It's not happening.
I don't really care. I'm good with my
happening.
one.
Can you stop knocking cage nets into the rack? I mean, it's not as bad as it used to be when we had servers that had the backs of them open.
All the time.
I remember this one time, one of the servers was open. It was one of the 45 drives ones, and I knocked something into it.
Oh, God.
And it sparked.
Oh, God.
And then I never told anybody, and nothing ever happened.
What is
but
this?
Something was dead in it.
So the best part of this is that everything uses rack studs now. I can ask Luke to make it one of their quarterly goals to take all the old cage nuts out of here, right?
I think if we had a networking esports team, like from our networking and infra department, they should call themselves the Rack Studs.
License the name.
It's a great team name.
Yeah, there's definitely an appropriate amount of patch panels per number of ports here, definitely.
You mentioned earlier we're going to transition to using these new switches as our router, but I think for most of the consumers out there, that doesn't make a lot of sense. But yeah, thanks, Andy. But enterprise switches are very powerful. They have very robust operating systems. Why would we not?
Setup effort high. Reward pretty good.
But why do people care about those things?
For us, it's mostly inter-VLAN routing. You can imagine a VLAN, it's a virtual network. It's kind of like you had 20 virtual routers, you could have 20 VLANs and 20 networks. It's all kind of in one. The big thing is if you want to pass traffic between networks, which maybe that sounds, why do you have them split? Well, sometimes you want one device to talk to a device in a different network, even though you don't want all of the devices to talk. Like a writer's workstation being separated from an editor's workstation. Well, if they both want to access a server and they're separated, it's got to pass over. Right now, that would happen on our OpenSense machine, which it's pretty fast, so it's probably okay. But imagine you're doing 10, 20 gigabit. It's going to start to become a bottleneck.
And this is just running commodity, some kind of mainstream Xeon processor in it.
Yeah.
Whereas these switches are running ASICs that are flippin' optimized for networking.
Yeah, you can imagine it would do that at line speed without issue. And the other thing is it will be local. So if that's happening in the lab, between two networks in the lab, it doesn't have to come back to here in the studio. It can happen there. So it's just way more efficient. Also, the internet connection sharing thing I talked about earlier. But
okay, here we go.
Sounds like maybe that's not going to happen yet.
Oh, hi, Jake.
This is awesome. So good.
It would have taken us so much longer to do this from the back. We would have gotten to the point where it's time to plug everything back in and gone, oh crap. I forgot how hard it is to reach in here and access the power outlets and everything. Just, ugh.
Speaking of accessing things, let me access my Flexbox.
Oh.
This thing is so cool. Have I showed you this before? Yes, I did at the LAN party.
Yes, you did.
FlexOptix, aside from making optics, also makes direct attach cables. We're going to be using these to interconnect our Dells, taking it back to that redundancy thing. For them to be redundant, they need to be connected. Every device downstream of these is now going to be connected to both. So if one switch dies, this magical cable will allow the connection to traverse between them.
But in order to make sure that these cables are going to operate with peak performance and reliability, you're supposed to use Dell optics, except that sounds expensive.
Well, they actually sent us some, and then they never arrived.
Cool.
The cool thing about FlexOptix, you plug them into here, open an app on your phone, and I can type, Dell 100 gig 1 meter.
And this becomes?
Dell 100 gig 1 meter.
Woo!
And you plug it into the switch. The Dell switch doesn't even know that it's not a Dell cable.
Awesome.
As far as it's concerned, it's Dell.
All right. Time to put some servers back in the rack. Some crazy overkill servers. So you guys think it's me driving the completely overkill infrastructure that we build around here, but often it's in spite of me. I'm at my, if it works, don't touch it stage of my life.
Well, we got the whole front patched in. All the MVRs are in. Everything's patched up. Everything's good to go. Dan is doing cabling in the back, and all we have left to move over to the infrastructure rack is Dell, which does all of our offsite backups from studio. So that's all that's left. Move that over, finish up cleaning the cabling, and then we're pretty much done here. I'm waiting for studio to come back up online.
Yeah, they took down the whole building?
Yeah, they took down the internet, everything. It's all down.
I told Gary 20 minutes.
It's been two hours or 4 hours, whatever.
And then Annydale, and tidying, and putting the shelving away, and cleaning up out there, and putting the sides back on.
Oh, damn.
And putting the doors back on.
It doesn't look like much right now, but man, is this ever easier to work on, and we are really close to being ready to fire this up. These are just all editing workstations, right? So I don't have to worry about any VLAN nonsense or anything? Theoretically?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, right now, this switch is connected to the router, and it's getting the VLANs now. I'm just about to connect our Ubiquiti 48 port so we can have Wi-Fi, because that will make my life supremely easier. Also, you never plug the power into it.
Which one?
Ubiquiti.
I've been doing stuff here, okay?
It doesn't look like it.
I've been doing lots of
Hey, go
stuff.
plug that in, will you?
I'm working on it.
Come on, boy. Get it together.
Hey, I'm working here. Oh, Jake went away. He wanted to show you guys something. He made a number 2. Good job, Jake. Good job.
Thank you.
Wi-Fi's up.
Okay, great.
All right, that's good.
Now, where's the goddamn cloud key?
Well, what was the problem? Did we ever figure that out?
The problem was they were switched.
Not switched, like network switched, like...
Hey, there we go. It adopted and remembered its config now. Okay, great.
Nice. The Wi-Fi definitely works. Hey, guys.
Hi.
I thought you guys were supposed to be the professionals. Our cable management on the other side looks so much better.
I tried really hard.
Our side looks like actual pasta.
Yeah. I thought I'd try and absolve myself of this sin.
Yeah. No, this looks great. This is amazing.
You know what came in really handy is these guys.
Yeah. LTTstore.com soon, TM. Cable management, boom, it holds anything anywhere. It's awesome.
Absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, especially the big one. You can take like a big old friggin' thing and like,
All of these are just one of those.
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. In all seriousness, how are you guys doing here? It looks pretty close.
Yeah, we're nearing the end here. We've just got to deal with some of these power cables, and then of course get these back up onto the ceiling.
Sure.
And then I think that's about it.
Okay, we gave up.
You gave up. I mean, we told Gary 20 minutes to take lunch so that we would be back up, and then we immediately moved the microtik and got everything ready so that Gary could continue doing his job.
Yeah, so here's the thing. We got about 30% of the way through and realized that moving everything at the back of the rack was going to take way longer than just pulling everything out and rebuilding it all from the front, so that when it's time for you guys to unspaget the thing, at least you can see what the heck you're doing. So that's what we did.
Yeah.
We are not going to get the full redundancy of the thing up and running today,
Oh, why?
because it is time for Jake to go to the airport.
Okay, well, you still got Shawn and I.
It's also time for me to leave.
Okay, so we're staying here till 1 a.m.?
No,
Oh,
as long as the network works,
okay.
we don't need the redundancy working.
Okay.
I know I'm acting all surprised and stuff, but it should work, and it does work for a number of reasons. I mean, you can see in the UniFi thing, there's only one upstream online on all of those switches, right?
The second one hasn't rebooted yet.
Every single switch downstream of the Dells is connected to both of them.
And then both of the Dells are connected to that link we have through the street to the other building.
Yeah, and they're also connected to each other with something called VLT, or virtual link trunking. Traditionally, you would have like an LACP or an aggregate link between two switches. Well, the Dell takes it up a notch, and instead of just between two switches, it's between one switch and two ones above it. And if one of them goes down, you still have the redundant link, and it just works. What's even cooler is if you have a situation where it's not like the switch just died entirely, it's more like the fiber got cut, or the direct attached cable is screwy, and it needs to get something on a switch that it's not currently connected to. It will like route over the connection between the two Dells and back to that switch. And what's even more cool is that it only took like 5 minutes to set that feature up.
You know what else took only 5 minutes? Brainstorming this segue to our sponsor. If you guys enjoyed this video, you know what? Go back and watch one of the previous attempts at cable managing that room, because believe it or not, it was even worse.
Yeah. Big shout out to Hammond Manufacturing for the nice new rack. It is glorious.
It is glorious.
Shout out to InfiniteCables for the cool patch cables. Shout out to Ubiquiti for all the other switches. Shout out to Dell for these switches. Holy crap, these things are awesome.
Shout out you for watching.
Yeah.
And shout out our Infra team, and also Jake.
And also Jake.